Hey, good day to everybody. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Journey. This video is gonna be about what I've learned so far living out of my van, and this is gonna probably be a two-part video because I don't want to make this video too long and too boring. So here it is. Now, in this video, like I told you before, I came down here to Alabama from Indiana, and I've been down here in Alabama now for a little over a month, living out of my van in the Montgomery area. And I gotta say, one thing which I've learned and I like about living out of my van is the fact that I get to explore different parts of middle Alabama for minimal cost. Like right now, I'm not on no kind of lease agreement. I'm not on no kind of mortgage agreement with anybody. So I can come and go as I please, which I love. Like at any given time, if I choose to quit my job for whatever reason, I can quit my job and go on with my business and go wherever it is I need to go or I want to go with ease. And I like that about living the van life. I love it. I mean, there's a certain amount of freedom that you get when you live like this, which in my opinion is priceless. But anyhow, ever since I've been living on my van here in Alabama, I've been all over middle Alabama looking at different homes, looking at different cities, looking at different towns. I've made videos about some of those places. So go back and watch them. You'll like them. Leave a comment below. Put the thumbs up, do all that. So anyway, living on my van, I have kind of gathered up in my mind an idea, at least, of what type of an environment that I desire to live in. And in my travels, I have discovered that there's certain type of environments that I will not live in, and there's certain type of environments that I would practically kick down doors to live in. Now, I'm still traveling. Obviously, I'm still traveling. I'm still exploring different parts of Alabama. I'm still looking for that place that's just right. It ain't gonna be perfect. I realize that, but I'm still looking for that area where the housing prices are fairly low and the community is safe and all that fun stuff. I'm still not 100% sure of whether it's going to be in the city of Montgomery or whether it's going to be in some of these smaller areas that are within an hour of Montgomery. I'm still kind of checking all that out. So that's one thing I like about living the van life, is the fact that I get to travel extensively throughout the state of Alabama, or anywhere I want to go for that matter. I can go visit the area and just kind of get a feel of the area for a relatively low price. Rather than going somewhere that I think I'll like and then I discover later that I don't like it, and all of a sudden I'm having to pay rent or I'm having to deal with a mortgage, and if I want to leave the area, either A, I'm going to break the lease and then have to pay fees related to such, or B, I'm going to have to sell my home and hope it sells in a reasonable amount of time, and then I got to pay realtors and all that crap. So I figure if I continue to live out of my van at this point, I can continue to visit different parts of Alabama and get a better idea of what type of area that I want to reside in. So yeah, see what else here. Mainly, I just wanted to share what I've learned living out of my van when it comes to shopping around for a home / shopping around for an area where I want to reside. I have a set of values. I have a set of things I want in an area where I want to live. I got a set of I guess you can call them standards, if you will, in terms of what the house has to be like. I mean, I'm not real fussy, but I do got certain criteria, which when I buy a house, it's going to have to meet. So I feel living out of my van, I can take my time, I can save money, I can do a bunch of driving around, I can do a bunch of sightseeing, a bunch of traveling. I mean, if I really wanted to, I can even travel to some of the neighboring states and check them out and see what they got going on. If, I can do all that kind of stuff because I'm not committed to no lease. I'm not committed to no mortgage. I don't have those type of issues. And that's one thing which I love about living the van life. So for those of you that are maybe looking to move somewhere and you're not 100% sure of where you want to live and how the area is going to be, or if you have this idea of what you think the place is going to be, if I were you, before you put money down for a home or you pay out a bunch of money on security deposits and U-Hauls to move into a rental property, whether it be a rental house or an apartment, I mean, if I were you, I would either A, live out of your vehicle like what I'm doing, or even if you got a family, if you already own an RV or a travel trailer or a fifth wheel of some sort, if I were you, I would just go ahead and live out of that for a while. I mean, you can go to an RV park, hook up. That way you have all the comforts of home, at least most of the comforts of home. So you can go to an RV park, you can hook up. You can pay rent there for, I don't know, about maybe a few months or whatever. That way you'll give yourself a lot of time to look around to see what you want to do in terms of housing, whether you want to purchase, whether you want to rent. Like if you want to rent, for how long and where. If you want to purchase, like, are you going to be in this house for the long time, for the long term, or are you going to be there just for a few years? And then once again, where do you want to live? What kind of neighborhood? What type of house are you looking for? Single story, 2-story, big, small, big lot, small lot, all that type of stuff. Older home, newer home. So while you're trying to get all that figured out in your head, by living out of your vehicle or living out of an RV, even if you choose to hook up somewhere, you can still save yourself a considerable amount of money while you're trying to figure all that out. And you can also save yourself a considerable amount of headache. That way, in the event that you don't want to live in whatever state that you think you want to live in, like you might go to an area today and be like, man, I love it here. And just, you got all these different ideas of what you're going to do. You have all these different visions in your mind of, oh man, you're going to grow old around here. You're going to love it around here. You know what I'm saying? And then you might wake up a month or two later, after being there for a little bit of time, you might be like, you know what? I didn't know this area was like this. I didn't know this area was like that. You know what? It's okay here, but I don't know if I want to purchase. I might just rent, stay here for a few years or for a few months, and then I'll just keep it moving. Or I'll just stay living in my vehicle for a few more months, do some exploring, do some sightseeing, and I'm going to keep it moving. So if you develop cold feet about wanting to stay in that area long term, and you're living out of your vehicle, it's like, hey, all you gotta do is turn the key and you're gone. If you're living out of a fifth wheel or a camper or whatnot, all you gotta do is hook it up to your tow vehicle, turn the key, and you're gone. Just like that. You don't gotta worry about breaking a lease. You don't gotta worry about trying to sell your home, and then you gotta pay all your money out to realtor fees and U-Hauls and all that type of crap. And then you gotta look for people to help you reload, to help you move some of your heavy items. I mean, it's like, man, forget all that. So I would say, before you put yourself through all that type of madness, you're going to want to really investigate the area thoroughly to make sure it's an area that you want to reside in. Because you might decide 2-3 months into living in that area that, you know what, you don't really want to be there. I mean, it was okay for a few months, but now you're ready to keep it moving. So, in my humble opinion, knowing what I know now, I would advise people that if you're looking to move somewhere, I mean, I don't care if your job takes you there. Before you go there and you buy you a home and you invest a whole bunch of time and money into living there, live out of your vehicle for a while. Live out of an RV for a while. Even if you want to pay lot rent to have a few extra luxuries like electricity and running water, do so. That way, at any given time, if you decide that you don't like the area, you don't like your job, you don't like the people who you work with, whatever the case might be, you can just turn the key, press the gas, and be down the road and go wherever it is you desire to go. So that's my little, I guess, advertisement of living as a nomad / living in your vehicle. So I will see you on the next video. Everybody have a good day.